What if Vincent van Gogh used Instagram? It's the late 1880s in the quiet town of Arles, France. The sun sets over yellow fields and Vincent van Gogh sits by the window, paintbrush in one hand and a smartphone in the other. On his screen glows an app that would change his life, Instagram. With a single tap, his first post appears. Sunflowers, the no-filter art from the soul. Within minutes, the world sees the colors that only he could imagine. Van Gogh, who once struggled to sell a single painting, suddenly finds an audience that understands him. Each brushstroke he uploads, cafe terrace at night, the bedroom, wheat field with crows, begins to trend. Followers flood in, artists, dreamers, students. Your colors feel alive, one comment reads. For the first time, he feels seen. He uses Instagram stories to share moments from his studio, showing his bold, emotional process. The swirling skies, the thick textures, the nights he paints under the stars because sleep won't come. His brother Theo comments encouragement, just as he did in their letters. But now, instantly, "Keep painting, Vincent. The world needs your light." Art critics begin to repost his work. Influencers call him the master of emotion. But fame on social media comes with shadows. Strangers leave cruel comments. Too messy, too sad, you copy Monet. Van Gogh's heart, fragile as ever, begins to crack. He scrolls endlessly, comparing himself to others, questioning if his art truly matters. The pressure to post, to stay relevant, replaces the silence he once found comforting. One night, he live-streams himself painting Starry Night, his masterpiece, as his followers watch in awe. The swirling sky fills the screen, blue and gold and infinite. "This," he whispers, "is how I see the world." The video goes viral. Millions watch. The hashtag #StarryNight trends worldwide. Schools study his posts. Artists imitate his brushstrokes. Yet, alone in his small yellow house, Vincent still feels isolated. He receives thousands of likes, but little warmth. His followers adore his art, but few understand his pain. He writes a long caption under a self-portrait. "I put my heart and my soul into my work, and have lost my mind in the process." Truth. His honesty shocks his audience. Mental health pages share it. Museums begin to feature Van Gogh, the artist who spoke through screens. He becomes a symbol of creativity, struggle, and the unseen battles behind beauty. In this version of history, Van Gogh doesn't fade into obscurity. Instead, he starts a movement, artists sharing their emotions through digital canvases. He creates a new hashtag, #JockArtHeals, and invites others to show their truth. His page becomes a safe place for expression, kindness, and creativity. When he paints Starry Night over the Rhone, he captions it, "Even in darkness, I see light." The post breaks records. The world listens. Years later, when art historians scroll through his feed, they see more than paintings. They see the story of a man who turned loneliness into beauty, one post at a time. As the camera pans over his glowing phone beside a jar of sunflowers, his final quote appears on screen. "I dream my painting, and then I paint my dream." And here's a fun fact. During his entire lifetime, Vincent van Gogh sold only one painting. It was called The Red Vineyard, and it sold for what would be about $2,000 today. Imagine that. The man who painted Starry Night and sunflowers, whose work now sells for millions, never knew fame or fortune in his time. Yet over a century later, his art hangs in the world's greatest museums and fills our screens with color and emotion. It's proof that sometimes the world isn't ready for your brilliance, but that doesn't mean it won't shine one day.